Many of the ancient, medieval, and Renaissance astronomers were astrologers. Many mathematics professors were judicial astrologers. They discovered algebra, geometry, trigonometry, and higher mathematics. These were the astrologers whose knowledge was considered instrumental in the spread of science on Earth, witnessing the acceptance of astrology as the main driving force of astronomy. According to ancient scholars, astrology is the art of comprehending the human, connecting with the divine, and ultimately realizing it. In Chapter 3 of his book Tetrabiblos, Ptolemy says the following about astrology. As to what is good for the soul, can there be a greater love of bliss, pleasure, and general fulfillment than this insight into the human and divine things as a whole? The Sicilian astrologer Maternus Firmicus, an important figure of the Hellenistic astrological period, argued that the study and practice of astrology fostered religion and the worship of the divine. In his work Mathesis, he argues that the heavens are divine and that astrology encourages the worship of the divine. He hypothesized that the planets are forces that cause what we experience. In this work, which can be regarded as a summary of the Hellenistic astrology period, there are ethical definitions of how an astrologer should be, which have come down from the ancients. According to Firmicus, a good astrologer should stay out of politics, stay out of trouble, have a good and lasting reputation, be honest, not be greedy, not humiliate those whose mistakes he sees. On the contrary, encourage them to behave better, be very careful in his predictions and always behave morally. Learn astrology correctly and understand it well in order to give valid answers to those who ask him. According to the information given in Liber Hermetis, another work that gathers the views of Hellenistic astrologers, a person's social class was determined from the moment of birth. Liber Hermetis shows us that the astrologer believed that by looking at the horoscope he could predict whether the chart holder would flourish or degenerate in this life. That is, if the person was born in a low social class, would he overcome the difficulties of his birth, move up, or pull himself out of it? Or if born into comfort, will he or she maintain his or her prosperity? Or will he or she fall down, seek adventure, or die bruised somewhere? The individual's abilities and competencies, which could not actually be changed as a result of hybrid genetic inheritances, are reflections of his configuration on his map. This means, in fact, that he can learn the ability to direct his interest in life and learn the roadmap of what to do. This leads us to an ancient Hermetic view that allows us to recognize the connection between the microcosm and the macrocosm. What is above is below. In other words, there are similarities between the macrocosm and the microcosm. Astrology is a science that helps us detect these similarities. Aziz al-Nasafi, in his work Zubdat al-Haqaiq, expresses this as follows. What is in the little person is in the big person. This means that we are connected to the celestial belt and the planets, which we call the zodiac. The zodiac has been seen as the spirit of the earth. In his Marifetnam, Ibrahim Hakkı Erzurumi says the following about the similarity of human beings with the heavens, zodiac. The resemblance of the human body to the heavens is that the body has 12 paths from the outside to the inside, just as the sky, the owner of the zodiacs, has 12 signs: 2 ears, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, mouth, 2 breasts, navel, and 2 ablution passages. Another similarity is that just as there are 7 planets in the heavens, there are 7 essential limbs inside the body. Muhyiddin Arabi, considered one of the greatest scholars of the Eastern and Western worlds of thought, saw astrology as the symbolic language of the realm. According to Ibn Arabi, the universe we perceive with our senses, the realm of vision, is an illusion. However, it is not an empty, non-essential fiction or delusion. It is a symbolic imagination that symbolizes a reality higher than itself. Therefore, everything in this realm is a symbol, or in other words, an expansion and manifestation of a reality. The arrangement of objects in our world, the events that take place, they all express a reality. However, since they are not truths themselves, they also obscure truths. The celestial bodies, planets, and zodiac signs also have this symbolic function. The one who knows this symbolic language of the universe can read objects, because the universe is the great book. The Iranian astrologer Abu Mashar, who left his mark on medieval astrology, said to those who were interested in philosophy and the sublime sciences, and who speculated about the mysteries of the states of celestial beings, "Since the supreme beings show what happens in this world through the forces of their natural movements, what is the use of ignoring this knowledge? One can attain this knowledge only by learning about the degrees of the zodiac circle, the numbers and names of the signs of the zodiac, the qualities, rulers, nobility, and natures of the degrees of each sign, the natures of the 12 houses and the planets, the northern and southern constellations, their states and meanings." Guido Bonatti, the Italian astrologer who compiled medieval astrology and made it understandable, says that astrology is the only science that can help us know and predict everything. According to Bonatti, knowing the future is useful. Bonatti says the following: "In fact, if a person is threatened by an evil event that will happen according to the stars, and he can foresee it, he will see what kind of evil it is, and he will prepare himself for it. The sages know certain things through these universals, and some things are known not only by the sages but also by ordinary people. The sages know them through their own efforts, that is, through the science of the stars." The sages thought that reading the astrological signs in advance would prevent them from having a negative impact, that they could prevent some of the things they saw, or at least prepare themselves spiritually for their consequences. Ptolemy says on this subject, "A skillful man, familiar with the nature of the stars, is able to anticipate their many influences and prepare himself for them before they occur. Foresight enables one to experience future events as if they were happening now, acclimatizing and calming the soul and preparing it to meet them with equanimity and fortitude." Astrological foresight was seen as one of the virtues that led to wisdom. Ptolemy puts it this way: "A foresighted mind adds value to the activity of the heavens, just as a skillful farmer adds value to nature by cultivating the land."